In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite stage display and multi-view within ProPresenter. Right now, we're in the middle of working on our live streaming for beginners course update. So it's version 2.0, but this video is brought to you by Worship Ministry School. And since we're in the middle of going through this course and we're implementing some of these things within that course, I just wanted to give you a little teaser of what we've been working on in those courses. So within ProPresenter, you can have different views, and right now we're looking at the ProPresenter multi-view that I created. And you can see here we have a lot of different things going on. So let me just walk through what's happening here. We have our audio meters here. We have 8 audio meters, kind of in stereo pairs, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and these meters are showing different things. So with this particular setup, we chose to have 8 so that we could have our X32 on the far right, and then on the first 4 we have media that plays on 1 and 2, and then pads go through channels 3 and 4. So if I click this song, we have a pad happening on this song, so it goes to channels 3 and 4. So you can see that the pad kicked in there and it came up on channels 3 and 4. If we play our announcement video, you'll see that it comes up on the first 2 channels, media.
This is a test announcement video. This week at church, we have men's.
And then our X32 would be if we were having audio come in from the soundboard. So if you were doing a live streaming through ProPresenter, you could see the audio come in on those channels. So that's what's going on with our audio metering, and I just like to put these labels here so that we know what's going on. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what all of these audio meters mean. I'm going to go into our stage editor. This is the place where you actually edit what you see on the multi-view, and I have a couple different ones here. We're going to stick with this multi-view here. So I made these boxes. These are just simple shapes. Everything that you do, you click this button up here, and then you can add different things. So I added a shape, and I made it to be sized, around the audio meters. And then here I just made some text boxes. I have to move this out of the way so you can click and edit them. But I put the text sideways. I placed it. I kind of went back and forth from placing it in the right spot, hitting show, making sure that it was where I wanted it, going back to the stage editor. So it took a little bit of time, but I think it's totally worth it. And then the next section I want to talk about are these live preview windows. So here we have this shape here, and what it is actually a screen preview of the in-person congregation. So this is what the congregation sees. And as we saw earlier when I played this announcement video, the congregation sees this video play.
This is a test announcement video.
It's also what the live stream shows, but the confidence monitor you can see is showing something different. So when we go back into our stage editor, I can show you a little bit more of what I did. With this shape, I set a stroke of a specific color, and then above that, I put another text box with congregation, and I chose that same color. So this way, when you're looking at your multi-view, you can quickly see, congregation, blue, that's what they're seeing. Live stream is red. The box is red, so you can quickly see what's happening there. And the same thing with the confidence monitor. The next thing that I put on here is the video countdown and then a system clock. So whenever you're looking at this multi-view, you can see what time it is. You can see how much time is left on videos. And then, that's basically it for the multi-view. You can do literally almost anything you want. This tool that they created, this editor, is just so powerful. So kudos to you guys at ProPresenter and Renewed Vision for making this awesome. You can also change the size of this so you can have it be a little bit easier to edit and manipulate. But it's just incredible what you can add here. And then if you've worked with Photoshop or anything similar to that, you're probably familiar with the layers section, and that's what this objects section is here. So this rectangle, I could pull this to the back if I wanted to have certain things on top of one another. But I'm just really happy with this layout that I created. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. You guys probably have great ideas on how you've laid yours out. Feel free to share those in the comments, and I'm sure other people would appreciate that. This next layout that I want to talk about is for the musicians. I've worked on this for a little bit, and it's pretty simple, but I'm really happy with all the things that it does. So first, we have a clock. It's always great to have a clock whenever you're leading, and seeing the confidence monitor, seeing what time it is really important. We also have another video or a segment countdown here, and this is linked to a timer. So if there's a countdown timer happening, say like, service start countdown, it's just really nice to see that, so you're not like either peeking around at a stage monitor or you're like waiting for a 3, 2, 1 from the tech booth. You can see exactly when the clock hits 0, and you know how much time you have to tune your guitar, to tie your shoe, whatever it is that you got to do. That's kind of this bottom section here. And then I always like to have the current slide text and the next slide text, so that as you're singing the lyrics, you can see what that current lyrics are, but also what's coming up next. So if for some reason you're not automating your slides, and the slide person is a little bit late, you at least know what's coming up next, or just for the sake of being prepared for knowing what the next section of the song is, the next set of lyrics. It's great to have that on there. I also use the current slide notes and the next slide notes to put the chords in there. I'll show you that when we go back to the other view. One cool thing that definitely was not available in ProPresenter 6 is having this linked text and these linked colors. So here we have this group. So all I did was create a text box, and I turned it sideways, and then within the shape, I made the group, I put this fill, and I made it the group color of the current slide. And then within the text, I did linked text, and the source is the group of the current slide. With this next section here, I did the same thing except the next slide. So when we go back to our actual song here, you can see that it pulls in everything, our pad, it pulls in the confidence monitor. The intro of the song is a 4-1-5-6 chord progression. So you can see that. If I switch to our stage display, a little bigger, you can see that it says intro and the chord progression at the top. So if you know the number system, is really nice because you don't have to have a bunch of different versions of the songs for different keys. You just have to put the chords in there once, and every time you do this song, regardless of the key, you can have a little cheat sheet of what chords are. And then you can see also what's coming up next. So you're playing through the introduction and you're ready to come up on the verse. You know that you're going to continue this 4-1-5-6 chord progression as you sing verse 1. And now you can see clearly that every time the first set of lyrics, the current set of lyrics is white, the next set of lyrics is yellow. I like to do that to differentiate, so I know what the congregation is seeing and what the congregation is singing along, and then I always know yellow is what's coming up next. So I'm very excited about this layout. I've used this in the past, and every time I'm leading, I've been excited about it. And you can see the groups there. We're on verse 1, and then we get to the chorus, and it changes. You can see the next part of it, it says chorus 1, and it's a different color, so you know this is the next group of the song. It'll do the same thing once we get to the bridge. You always know what time it is. I'm just super happy with this layout. Another cool thing that you can do with it is change the size of the text. You can make it scale up or scale down to fit the container. So say you have a lot of words on a certain slide, it'll shrink it so that it doesn't do weird, breaks where it sends some text to the next line. Or if it's not a lot of words, like in the tag of the song, like where it says yes I will, then it's just really giant. Some people might find that distracting. I find it really helpful so that you don't get weird text breaks, where the line switches over to another line, and then it makes the text smaller, or it gets cut off because you selected too large of a font. I'm just really excited about these different stage layouts, the different things that you can do within the ProPresenter editor. And if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear how you make the most out of your ProPresenter stage displays and the most out of your ProPresenter multi-views. But I think that you can really set up your ProPresenter, your slides person really well to see whatever information is pertinent just within the program itself. Another cool thing you can do is you can actually send this multi-view out to a specific display. So right now we have this pretty large, but if you wanted to have larger slides, say it's this small of a screen, you could set up a second monitor somewhere, and then within your screen section you could set up your multi-view to go to an actual display. So you could have another screen where all it is the ProPresenter multi-view. That's what I did in my previous church. I had a TV that all it did was show the ProPresenter multi-view, so you could see really large what's happening in different parts of the room and on the stream, and you can see what the band sees, you can see what the teaching pastor sees. This is just such a great update from ProPresenter 6. I'm really happy with it. And like I said, if you've got any ideas that you want to share, let us know in the comments how you make the most out of your ProPresenter displays.